Sometimes, while we're busy making plans, life throws an unexpected curveball that makes us reevaluate everything. Kate Gellis is a technology leader at Group M Nexus who faced the storm head-on. She shared her journey with us. I'm so amazed by her bravery. This is Profiles in Brilliance. Hi, I'm Kelly Wenzel, Chief Marketing Officer of Andela. With me today is Kate Gellis, Head of Platform and Partnerships at Group M Nexus.
Thank you so much for having me, Kelly. I'm thrilled to be here.
So let's start with, what is Group M Nexus?
So think about it in terms of anytime you go to a television commercial or you see a digital ad in Times Square, we're the company that sits behind that and powers the entire advertising strategy for premium 500 companies like Coca-Cola and some of the largest brands that you see on things like the Super Bowl. And I specifically look after the gigantic stack that powers that $500 billion worth of advertising spend.
So Kate, you start your career in ad tech at multiple high growth startups, and then you move your way over to NBCU, where big company. I would love to hear, how does that experience, high growth startup, really large, billion-dollar business, how did those two differing experiences shape you?
They're polar opposites. A startup is agile, it's lean, it's an all hands on deck. You do what needs to be done to get the revenue in the door and growth. And so I thought that was a very interesting experience because it gave me so much involvement in every facet of business growth. And it allows you to really take an ownership approach. And I used that within that corporate entity of NBC, right? Corporate environment, you're really flexing soft skills and you're focusing on strategic communication and understanding what drives those business divisions.
So I know you met your husband in ad tech. You then step out to get married, have a baby, be a mom. And as you are about to enter the workforce, re-enter the workforce, I understand you had some big news.
I did. I went to try and get muscle repaired from having said family. I got the phone call from my pre-surgical blood work that I had developed what is an uncurable bone cancer, leukemia. It is a very tough piece of news to get. I had always had a career, and it was a very important part of who I was as an individual. And when you're faced with such a difficult prognosis, you don't want to lose yourself completely. You're already losing so much of, you're losing time, you're losing potential experiences with family, you're losing, some independence as you work in a very complex health care scenario. And I just really wanted to continue to use my brain towards creating things and interacting with people and having a different perspective on what work really means to you when it's not necessarily about that next career promotion or that next raise.
It would have been very easy, I think, to say, oh my gosh, huge life-changing diagnosis. I need to just step out and focus 100% on dealing, right?
Yeah.
And handling and managing. And yet you chose the opposite path, which is, yes, I'm going to do all that, and I'm going now to do the things that are going to fulfill me. And I think it's such a brave choice.
I knew if time was limited and I had to look back at my life, I wanted to be a positive and strong example for my kids. I wanted them to have something, a legacy, a memory, be proud of me. And I love working with people. And I thought for me, the best thing was to be surrounded by people that loved the same things I did, loved systems, loved integration and development. I know that sounds very nerd-esque, but for me, there's nothing more important than using my brain and feeling fulfilled career-wise, intellectually, and coming from that ad tech relationship, right? Ad tech has, been the foundation of my family and my life. And for me, I wasn't ready to let go of it yet. And I still feel like I have more to accomplish and to bring into the world.
Your work now becomes almost about legacy
It
and
is.
what impact you're making on the world.
It is. It's 100%. I am driven by creating things that will stand the test of time, creating things that will better, the businesses that I work for, creating things that are innovative and cutting edge, and trying to, bring a personality with that as well, help to develop talent, help to mentor those earlier in their career.
So you move through this cancer diagnosis and treatment, and you go to Group M. Has it had like a distinct change on your leadership style then?
Absolutely. I think cancer is a great equalizer, and it's really allowed me to pivot my leadership style. I'm a huge proponent in work-life balance for my team. I heavily stress family balance, time with family for my employees. I think that's incredibly important. It's incredibly important for me.
And you're still in the middle of this cancer journey now, are you not?
I am still, it's a lifelong journey, is what I've discovered. It can define you, or you can choose to advocate and give back. And that's what I've chosen personally to do.
Kate, what would you say to others who get a challenging diagnosis like this and they have a career that they love? What would your guidance to them be?
I would say to anybody going through it, don't let go of yourself. Don't let go of all the things that you love about what your day looks like and what you do and who you spend it with. Take some time to reflect on really what is important to you.
How do you invest in your team, and how do you build a team that invests in each other?
I think it comes down to culture. I think it's culture and a mix of talent. And so when I'm growing and building teams, I look at people who carry the same passions and also want to invest and grow in leadership capacities. And so I've had fantastic leaders that have really helped me over the course of my career develop some of the skills that maybe weren't so front and center. And so that's kind of how I work with my team. I want them to understand the soft skills. I want them to understand pivoting communication styles, listening, receiving information, interpretation. All of those things I think are vital in the areas of business I support. And I think it's really important for those young professionals to also grow in those areas as well. So that's a huge focus of my leadership style. And, also keeping fun kind of events that bring the team together culturally, I think are always super helpful. Spotlights to help to showcase talent on the team and share ideas. Whiteboarding sessions where everybody can innovate together in a really collaborative way. And I end my team meetings, and I am very explicit about this. I pass around each week to a different participant, and I ask them to bring an inspirational quote of intention to end the meeting. And I think it's really interesting to see how those quotes are so unique to each of the personality sets.
Yeah, to their individual, yeah.
Yeah, and I really love ending the meeting that way because everybody really takes these quotes seriously.
It is so evident that you are really passionate about what you do. I'm curious, as you look across your space, are there any trends, whether it's AI or something else that you just have your eye on?
Tons of trends, especially in the data space, especially with advanced intelligence and machine learning, hyperlog, algorithmic building and development. I'm seeing a ton in the space in terms of development of what is called a proprietary data spine. And so basically having your own data and matching it to other party data and creating that unique ID that allows you to understand that user's journey, no matter where they're consuming advertising on whatever platform they're consuming it. I think that's a huge trend that I'm seeing in media space, and I am very much looking forward to the development and the leadership and innovation on those areas.
Okay, Kate, ready? We're now gonna do lightning round.
I'm ready.
Okay. Do you have a hobby?
I would be a sports mom. My favorite hobbies are driving my 5-year-old to soccer, baseball, and karate multiple times a week.
Okay, wake up early or go to bed late?
Go to bed late. I am not a morning person.
I am not a night owl. Ask permission or beg forgiveness?
Beg for forgiveness, always.
If you were going to write a book, what would it be?
Love letters in ad tech. And it would be a compilation of stories that I want to tell my son about my life and every event of how I have kind of grown up with ad tech, how I met his father, ad tech, how I fell in love, ad tech, how I've handled adversity through ad tech, and sprinkle in some fun ad tech stories because I really think there's a lot of good ad tech memories that I have in this space over the last 17 years.
So now I am going to pull a page from the Kate book, and we're going to end the interview with your favorite inspirational quote.
If you want to go fast, go alone. If you want to go far, go together.
Love it. Kate, thank you so much. It's been just a pleasure to learn about you and your journey, the bravery with which you are bringing towards your career and the choices that you make. It's phenomenal. And I really appreciate you being so open and transparent and sharing your story.
Happy to. Thank you so much for having me, Kelly.